Hello, this is Ron. This is Anthony, and I'm a schizophrenic. My psychotropics are risperidol, Seroquel, and Luvox. And what I want to talk about is circumcision and how I am suspicious of it, controlling it, the spirit, and the circumcision, since it's circular, it controls the curve. So, so what? It it compromises the linear or digital, so that it is accessing the computation from the digital, the square or linear, for purpose of our circulation, our movements, because our movements are arcs or like curves, and also the circulation of money, periodicals, the orbit of the Earth around the Sun, and the general rotation of the universe. I think the circumcision is affecting that in a negative way, so that we don't compute the solutions for this Earth. Let's see, what can I say about this calculator? 0100 binary. This is what is that? In binary, that is 4, like the 4 corners of this video frame. And I think the digital is used to control the arc or the curve due to the circumcision. And digital computers perform this very well. Also, the signal, the audio signal into this recording converts the analog to digital with an analog to digital converter. So that way we can compute what the circumcision, how the circumcision is using the curve to affect the linear or digital. So like this container has a cap, and the circumcision affects the opening and closing of the cap. And the linear, like with a ruler, can process that curve with the aid of the psychiatry of the person. And this can affect the purpose of the circumcision, which I think is harmful for the human race. Anyway, circumcision, it reduces the sensitivity of the penis, and I think it's an unnatural thing to do to a person. And also it cuts the main nerve below the penis when you remove the foreskin. Also, another linear example that can control the curve of the circumcision is this cube. This is a cheap example of a Rubik's Cube. By turning it and using our psychiatry or our psychosis, we can affect. I know there's no proof how we are affecting the circumcision, but how is this applied really? I am like dumbfounded. I cannot explain it. But also, if you have the linear, like with two rulers, and like the cross of Jesus Christ, it controls the circumcision. The mathematics is unable to calculate the curve exactly. The curve cannot be calculated exactly. So I think that is why they invented the circumcision, to take control of the human race. Because that curve cutting process of it augments the linear or digital. So I have a compass here, which is an analog device, and this linear, by adjusting it with the mind, can affect the power of the curve caused by the circumcision. So we can dominate or override the curve with the linear. Another thing I think, this is all paranoia, you see, because it's hard to make sense of the paranoia, but like this candle, we can affect the curves of the fire, the flame, with the linear or the using the two rulers, right? What can you all tell me about this? Because I'm not very clear about this. I assume you all have aliens, and I don't know if they communicate with you all. I mean, those of the curve will not allow you to communicate with the aliens, or the aliens do not wish to communicate with you to explain to you what is really happening. I talked about the mathematics. Exactly what the circumcision is, how they accomplish this? I mean, the circulation I mentioned, right? The circulation of money, circulation of movements of bodies. Maybe with the circumcision, the circulation cannot intercept one another to form an explanation of the unknown, which the paranoia can clarify. The one is unable to go into the zero because of the pain during circumcision. So the spirit, if it is trying to somehow control nothing with one, nothing or zero with one, is made very difficult or impossible, because there was pain. It felt pain during the circumcision, and the mind cannot associate with the physical to make sense of the structure of reality. The structure of reality cannot be determined with the mind, with logic. So that's my, I don't know what you call that, my what? Circulation. I wish I could pause this video and think, but it doesn't have a pause function. I have to stop it completely. Circumcision. How do I prove that the circumcision was done for malicious purposes, a covenant of God. Don't let any covenant of God cause you to harm yourself physically, you know? And as schizophrenics, or those of you with a bipolar, another mental diagnosis, I urge you not to believe, not to harm yourself or others because of the paranoia. Remain harmless. With the thoughts of the paranoia, I have found it difficult to associate the paranoid thoughts with reality, so that stops me from doing anything harmful, you know? Because you would want to believe with the association of mind and physical. And if you believe something, you could act on it. But as I've urged you, do not cause any harm to others or yourself because of schizophrenia's paranoia. This is Ron, and you all have a good evening.